Hello everybody. I'm getting ready to do an acrylic pour, and I have envisioned, I love the color red, and I haven't done anything with just really red lately. Got me some fresh clean butcher paper underneath on my table, and I've got a canvas here, 18 by 18. So I'm going to write that on the back, 18 by 18. And the colors I have, I'm using DecoArt Americana. This is cherry red that I have mixed up. This is alizarin crimson. They're close. They're very close. This is a deeper. Alizarin crimson is deeper. And true ochre. I just have a little bit of that. The fourth color I was going to mix up for you so you can watch me mix it is called Coral Blush. I'm using Owatrol Easy Flow. This is from Europe, and it's only available from Owatrol or on Amazon. So I'm doing about 1-to-1 ratio. This is a paint conditioner, so if you're in a country or a place where you cannot get Floetrol or Owatrol, which are pretty much the same thing, ask for a water-based paint conditioner that you can mix with latex paint, which latex paint is acrylic paint. So this is my fourth color. So I'm just stirring in the Coral Blush with the Owatrol. And typically the DecoArt colors in the bottle are fluid enough to where you really do not have to add water. This is pretty good. I'm going to add just a touch of water because I want it just a little bit more fluid. So that's my little bottle that I have of water. I do want cells, but I don't want a lot. So I think I'm going to use the OGX Coconut Milk Anti-Breakage Serum. I was going to say anti-aging. Ha ha ha. Keeps your hair from aging. I'm going to put one small pump in the coral and one in the cherry red. That is all. A few swirls. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way. I also have, as usual, my really big bottle of white, which is titanium white mixed 50-50 or 1-to-1 with Owatrol. And I have a squeeze bottle as well, just to show you that they're, what I keep it stored in. And then I have my lamp black. It is in a squeeze bottle as well. I'm going to use white and black, so, but I'm not going to, they're not in the cups. These are just the ones that I freshly mixed in the cups. So I'm going to put these over here. And I have in mind that I want to do kind of a flip cup kind of thing. Just not real sure exactly how I want to do this, but I also would like to put a ribbon of paint through it, and I have something I want to put my paint in. It was some little, it came with a little piece of cheesecake from a fast food joint. And so I like the shape of it, and I thought this would be great to put some paint in and pour across in a ribbon. And I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll see. So I'm going to start by putting white on my canvas. I have my plastic scraper I'm going to use to just spread it out. I was thinking about just doing a standard dirty pour where you cover the whole canvas, but I want it to feel a little abstract, because I try with my fluid art to make it, you know, a little bit more than a dirty pour, but I love doing dirty pours. So I'm not saying I'm never doing dirty pours, because I love them, and I love to cover the whole canvas, and I love cells and that kind of thing. So basically I'm just making sure get a little bit of white on the edges. Trying to figure out exactly how I want to do this. I think for the first part of it I do want to do a dirty pour. So I've got a 5-ounce cup. I wanted to show you too. I was complaining about having the little irritating tabs on squeeze bottles, because I usually use squeeze bottles, and I had someone that had a brilliant idea, and it's like, duh, why didn't I think of that? It was hilarious. She said, cut your little plastic tab off, so you still have the little top that goes on the top, but you don't have this hanging around while you're doing your squeeze bottles and scraping your paint or something like that. So this is the only one I have not cut off. This is the only one I have not cut off, but it's a great idea. You snip it here, and then you snip it here, and you still have the little cap that can go on your bottle. Brilliant. I never thought of that. So it just goes to show how we can share tips with each other. So I'm going to start with a little white in my cup. And I think I'll do a little of the alizarin crimson. I'm going to do a little bit of black, not a lot. Coral blush, just a little bit. Whoops, and I drip it on my canvas. Cherry red. Do white again. And what I'll do is I'll just plan on flipping my cup around this area where I've spilled paint. Back to the alizarin crimson. I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of the yellow ochre. True ochre, I mean. It's true ochre. I guess it helps not to pour over your canvas, doesn't it? Cherry red, alizarin crimson. So not a lot of paint. was not a good flip either. I'm notorious for having too much paint when it comes to a flip cup. So I'm trying to do less. Poke a tiny hole there just to release any pressure. I meant to drag that more, but I lifted the cup up too far and it let the paint out. So, and as you see, tons of cells. I have really no issues getting cells, that's for sure. I'm going to let this sit just for a minute. So my plan is to put the colors in here and drag it across, because I want that striped effect over my cells. So I'm just grabbing the very edge very softly. There's a chunk of paint. And I'm wiping every time that I use my tool. The great thing about butcher paper is if you wipe it pretty much, you know, as soon as you can, it'll wipe off even when it's dry, but the sooner the better. It's very helpful to keep your paper more clean. Also too, skewers around, you can kind of roll it a little bit. Actually, I want to put more white down here, because you gotta have wet paint in order to move your paint further or blow it after you've kind of put it out there. Alright, so this is going to be a total experiment, and I may totally screw up the whole painting. So I'll do a little bit of black through here. Do the cherry red. And I stuck my whole shirt in the white paint, leaning over my canvas. That's hilarious. So I have no paint down here. It's totally scraped off with my shirt. That was not smart. I thought something feels cold on my shirt. What is it? White paint. Okay, back to this. So I have the coral blush, a little bit of red over the black, the cherry red. I do a little white, a little bit of the ochre, alizarin crimson. Do a little white again. Cherry red. A little bit of the coral blush. Top it off with the alizarin crimson. And just a little bit of black. Okay? Now, I gotta get this paint off my arm and my shirt. That's why I do not paint in anything that I want to keep nice, because it's not going to stay nice. I'm just wondering if I have enough paint. I think I'm going to do another little bit of white, coral, a little bit of ochre, a little bit of black. I'm probably putting too much black. I don't know for sure. Alizarin crimson and a little cherry on the other side. Ooh, that's pretty in here. That is pretty. So I'm going to swipe this end. Slide that way. My full pan and put it underneath. I'm just going to tilt this and see what happens. I'm going to get rid of that grayish area that was there. So basically letting it go over that whole edge there. I'm going to take this area and swipe. It's not super wet, so it's taken some time to move. So I don't have really much of any white along here. It's very thin, so I'm going to go back here and put white in. Then I'm going to swipe this edge over. Let's see. So I've got this beautiful paint in here. Just trying to break up some of these solid areas a little bit. So I think I'm pretty much done with this one. Pretty happy with it. It's unusual. I wanted to try out the ribbon thing, which I don't know, maybe when you do the ribbon thing you don't need the cells, but I love this little area right there. I'm going to bring the canvas up to you to see it. So that corner right there, I love the lacing that's going on there. And so there with the dark streak is where the ribbon was poured in, and instead of just having a bunch of cells, it's got a little stuff going on. I like it. So there's that one. I wanted to do red and I enjoy doing it, so there it is. So I have a little 6x6 canvas. The key is to not get your glove stuck between the push pin and the canvas. So what I'm gonna do is just leave this alizarin crimson here in the cup. Put some white on it. Do the coral blush. A little yellow ochre. Some more white. Just a drizzle of black. More white. I'm going to finish off the top with the cherry red. So like I said, this is a 6-inch canvas. And I bought this. It's a cradled board, wooden board from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. It was Hobby Lobby, and I got it half price, so it was like $3. And it's 8 inches square. And my plan is to do, it'll be flush because I've got push pins right now, but is to do a pretty canvas, paint this out in a complementary color, maybe black or something like that, and then put the canvas inside like a shadow box. So that's my intention with this little canvas. So just put a little bit of white and do a flip cup. And I know that I don't need white on the canvas because I've got plenty of paint in that cup, but I'm just going to go ahead and put white on. I'm going to let this sit for a minute. I love this cherry red. It's so vibrant. You know, if you're ever scared to do a bunch of colors, you're kind of always safe with one color, white and black. If you just want to play until you learn what you like. Like I said, white and black and one color will actually give you great results. So I'm going to go off all these edges, but then I'm coming back because I don't want that coral that was on that corner. And it's funny how the black didn't even really pop out. I'm surprised. I'm going to take it this way just a little bit. Get rid of that peachy corner. There's that, and the colors are so pretty inside this cup. I'm going to see if I can get this last little bit of cherry out. Well, that stretched the yellow out underneath the gold color, and but what I poured was already, the colors were so mixed together they just kind of blah there. So let's see what I can play with on this just a little bit. So I totally screwed that up. So since I screwed it up, I'm going to really just go for it. This is where you just have fun and play. So I'm going to pull out my squeeze bottle, do some red. Basically the same colors, just here's a bright orange. I'm going to do a black in the middle. Swipe and wipe. Now why this one stayed solid, I don't know. Okay. This is just where you have fun and swipe for the heck of it. Experiment. Drag your finger through it. Trying to get some of my mess cleaned up. So it's totally funky looking. It's just fun to play sometimes. When you're not happy with what you've done and If you have other paint around, you know, to play with, then I say go for it and play. I'm going to move this one away.